Hey Mike, how you doing? Can you hear me? Hey Sue. Hope you got the PDFs. Okay, what they are, it's a paradiddle ostinato. Now, ostinato means a pattern which repeats itself over and over again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I refer to this particular exercise as a paradiddle ostinato. All we're doing, hey Dylan, time for you to sign up today, young man. Okay, what we have is the paradiddle ostinato. I'm playing a single paradiddle. And I'm thinking of the single paradiddle in a 16th note formation, which is 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take that paradiddle and utilize two voices. I'm going to utilize my right cymbal, my hi-hat and my snare. So without any foot pattern, and I'm going to do this nice and slow. I'm going to count 16ths, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And I'm going to distribute it between the bass drum, the hi-hat and the snare drum. Hold on one second. Okay, so what we have now is we're going to establish this pattern between these two voices. Now, what I'm going to do, in addition to just playing the paradiddle, I'm going to nail an accent on the count of 2 and 4. So I'm going to do it slow. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and Now, that's the pattern we're going to work with, and that's going to be constant. That's not going to change throughout the exercise. So what I have now, I'm going to play it up a little bit, is this. Now, what do we do with the foot? Well, there's all kinds of possibilities in utilization of the foot. Lock in with the bass player, hit the horns, or whatever it might be. So in order for you to maintain that pattern consistently and have freedom with the foot, these are the exercises that you want to do. Now, I took the liberty of taking the Gary Chaffee book, page 11, and writing out the ostinato pattern with the foot pattern. This way you can see it. I'm working on the ostinato pattern utilizing the stick control book with the foot patterns. And then there's another inversion of the paradiddle which we will be working on later. Not today, but maybe tonight, I'm not sure. But here's the first one, line number 1. That should be on your PD. The bass drum now is on 1 and 3. So I'm counting 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and that's my bass drum part. Now I'm going to play the top, which is the ostinato. That's number 1. We all understand that so far. And I need some interaction, whether it's going to be yes or it's going to be no. We understand it? Yes. We don't understand it? No. So put something in there, please. If you all understand it, fine. I'll go on to line 2. Mike understands it. Susan understands it. Dylan understands it. Hello, Federal. Okay, number 2. Now you can refer to this as a permutation. To permutate means to move over 1. Okay, so I played the bass drum on the counts of 1 and 3. If I permutate that, I'm going to move the bass drum now, instead of the 1 and the 3, I'm going to move it over to the E of 1 and the E of 3. And I'm going to take it slow. 1, I'll just establish the pattern first. 1, E, and E, and 3, E, and now with the foot. 1, E, and E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and Now before I go any further with this, there's not an obstacle, but you have to be aware of this. When I play that bass drum and the snare drum on the E, a lot of people have a tendency to go 1. It distorts the sound. I'm going to play the distortion. Now, I played the bass drum where it's supposed to be played, and I played the pattern where it's supposed to be, with the exception of I made that left hand, the E of 1 and the E of 3, too loud. So I'm going to lighten up on it. I'm going to experiment with it. I'm going 1. See that? 1. Okay. Just be careful with the E. Don't go like this. That sounds terrible. The object is to keep these consistent. What are you talking about flams for? What do you want to put flams in this? It has nothing to do with flams. I'm going 1 note at a time. You're not flamming on the E. You're playing the E on the snare drum and the E on the bass drum in unison. I'm not doing that. That's sort of a flam. I don't want that. That's terrible. Get it? Now the next guy is going to be on the and of 1 and the and of 3. Again, we permutate it. We move it over 1. We had it on the 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the, then the next one we just did was on the E of 1 and the E of 3. 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the. Now we're taking it over to the and of 1. 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the. Now you want to create a nice balance. I like to explode the bass drum as much as possible. So now, if I'm going to take the third one, which is the and, it's going to be 1, E, and, 2, E, and, 3, E, and, 4, E, and. Notice the consistency. The right hand was sounding the same. The left hand, when it wasn't accented, sounded the same on the snare. And I got that, I had put that backbeat on 2 and 4 to really put that definition on it, to make it rock back and forth. Okay, that takes care of the first 3. Now the third one, we're going over again, permutating to the duh of 1 and the duh of 3. So just with the foot pattern itself, it would be 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and. We have everything so far. We understand everything from 1 to 4 right now. Before I move on, because I'm going to play the pattern, number 4, the pattern here. Once you get that going on, you feel comfortable with the first 4, challenge yourself. Play line 1, the first one, 1 time. Play line 2, 1 time. 3, 1 time. 4, 1 time. and go back to the first line again. Watch. One time. Over again until you feel comfortable with it. There seems to be some sort of let me just move that up and down. Wait a minute. Are you getting the video okay? Let me see. Hold on. The video's okay, we understand it. Okay, now we move down to number 7. No, number 5, rather, I'm sorry. Number 5. The stick blur, I don't know why that is. Every day something different. Okay, we're on number 5. Now number 5, the foot pattern, it changes, there's no more permutating, it's just a variation. On number 5, the foot pattern is going to be on 1E and 3E. So I'm going to count 1E and play, boom, chang. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 2E and 3E and 4E and Now we do understand the foot, where the foot falls, and then we put the top in here. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 3. Sorry. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and a little up tempo. So forth. Again. Let me change the speed on that. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I want to see something. I want to see if that has an effect on the speed of the blur of the drumstick. 1 second, please. It should be better. Let's see what happens. No, it looks worse. Oh, boy. I quit. Still, let's see if we're getting a stick blur. A little bit, got a little better. All right, I have to see what that is. Anyway, we're going to go to line number 6. The bass from now is going to fall on 1 end and 3 end. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and let me reload. Let me reload my computer. Reload your computer. Refresh your browser. Sometimes YouTube does that. All right, anyway, we'll work on it later. As long as this lesson's okay for everybody. Just a normal blur. Okay, we're on line 7. Line 7, you have a dotted 8th note and then a 16th note. Here's the foot pattern. I'm going to slow it down. Okay? Susan? Okay, line 7. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now we're going to take number 7 and put the pattern in here. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E, 3 E and 4 E and. What the heck is that? The drum monsters are here. That was number 7. Now, number 8, 16th note rest, 2 16th notes and a 16th note rest. So we have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and here we go again. Pattern 1 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Do you understand from 1 through 8 now, guys? Hey Dylan, are you going to sign up today or not? Because this is going to be all over after today. We understand it, Dylan and Mike? How about you, Susan? This is directed at you, Dylan. Are you going to sign up today? Yes or no? Mr. Dillon? I know you are, Susan. Like I'm doing a promotional thing, and after today, after this week, everything's going to be for not free. Okay, thank you, Dillon. Okay, we're on number 9. All right, now number 9, you have a 16th note rest. Well, you don't have, if you're looking at the book, you do. If you're looking at the PDF sheet, you don't. Let me just take it as if you're looking at the PDF, okay? The PDF is telling you on the E and the DA of 1 and the E and the DA of 2, you have the foot pattern. So you have this now. You play the pattern, the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and we understand that one. And then on line 10, I think that's the PDF. Yeah, you should have line 10 would be now you have the foot falls on the and of 1 and the and of 3. So we're playing this. That's the pattern, 3 E and 4. Now the foot, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now, when you attack these, the first thing you want to do is not worry about speed. You want to worry about being in tempo. We don't worry about being in tempo. And by doing it slow, that makes you examine your voices. When I say examine your voices, is your snare drum consistent with the accent and the non-accent? The sound am I getting from my right hand on the hi-hat, is that consistent? And does my bass drum explode? So that's what you want to work with. Anybody can figure this out that has half a common sense mathematically and play it where it's supposed to be played. But to make it sound like a pattern or like a rock of boom, boom, hitting that 2 and 4, so in the pocket. So what you want to do is re-examine it. It's not about speed. It's not about any of that. It's about making it sound as musical as possible. Now, we're going to hit, that was number 11. We're on number 11. You have 2/16 and the 8th. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Against the pattern. You have 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Okay? The next guy, the bass drum, if you look at the bottom space, the bass drum is telling you 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. And you play the pattern on top, 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 1 E and so on and so forth. Now, I'm going to be working tonight on, it's entitled ostinato pattern. That's the paradiddle ostinato meets stick control. That's how the lesson is going to be, you can identify to the lesson. I did want to work at the new breed tonight, but I don't think that's going to be possible until sometime next week, perhaps. And we're going to start our venture off with that. Well, this is just a variation of the ostinato, the paradiddle ostinato. We're going to do the inversion, we're going to do the stick control book, and in the past I've taught one. It's a very basic pattern, and I was leading with the right hand. Now we're going to take it and we're going to play it with the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you become efficient on the right side and the left side. You want to equalize your strength, right and left. No, they're not. They're not in the ostinato book. This is something entirely different. Okay? But that you have the ostinato book? Dylan. Anyway, we're going to continue on this. We ended at 12. We're going to hit 22 tonight. You did. All right, good. All right, let me see if they're in there. I don't remember. It's been ages since I opened that book and wrote it. But anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to stop at 12. And we're going to continue to 22 tonight. And it gives you a chance to, practice a little bit before the lesson. And we're going to try to play from 1 to 22 over and over and over again. And we're going to take this kind of thing, like I said, we're going to go over to his combination patterns, I believe he calls them. And I'm going to write them out on one surface. I'm going to break them all out, break them all down. And we're going to play with different ostinatos. We're going to complete this part of the book until we journey off into the triplet elements. Do we have any questions at all? All right, because I'm going to close up at 1:30. Of course it's helpful, and I have exercises that you can play in unison to develop that bass drum. For example, let me just give you an exercise, being that you brought that up. The question is, he wants to improve his bass drum placement. and getting his limbs together instead of flamming. All right, here's an exercise you want to do. And we did it with, we did it with the new grid, I think, last night. But anyway, let's do this. Something that you're familiar with is vamping. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So if I did 4 measures, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this more or less is, it's a killer exercise. It's going to give you stamina with the bass drum, plus it's going to make you have a conversation between the right hand vamp and the bass drum, or the left hand vamp and the bass drum. So what I would do, instead of just going 1 hand, 2 hand, 3 hand, 4 hand, I play the bass drum and the right hand in unison. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Now, that in itself is letting you be able to play the right hand and the bass drum together, the left hand and the bass drum together. In addition to that, there's a couple elements that are here. You're working on your hands. All right, I don't know why. It has to be, I don't know what it is. It has to be the internet, because everything is coming out clear over here. You know, what you have to do, you know, when you get here, I'm going to show you what I do most of the time, sometimes I forget, is to close all my windows down. So you say, well, I closed everything down. No, you didn't. If you're on Facebook, you went off of Facebook, but you didn't sign out. When you sign out, you're off. And that window is closed. You have a virus scan, all right? If that's open, disable it for a half hour or an hour. That makes you get a better picture. Okay? All right. Anyway, I'm going to close up. Dylan, I'm expecting you to sign up within the next half hour. Okay? Can't hear ya. Before I close, I would like a response. Yeah, well, it happens because, you know, there's the internet is like a highway. You get congestion. All right, we'll be back tonight. I'll talk to everybody when they get here. Let me shut this down. Hold on. Where's my mouse? Come on, mouse. Okay, let me get off. And let me sign out.